One of the unique ways that a private banking system grows the way it does is by helping us conserve and actually recycle cash that we're probably throwing away right now. We all know that a big part of winning in business and in our investments is the intelligent use of our cash. We know that the more efficiently that we use our cash, or somebody else's cash, the better the growth of our project or business. But what about all the money that simply leaks through our hands to pay for the big ticket items in life? We usually face a choice to pay for all these items, either borrow or take our cash away from some productive use. And the amount of all this cash paid out over the years can really add up to a significant amount of money. But what if there was a way to acquire all these things and yet, at the same time, to stop losing the earning power of this cash that we pay out? And what if there were a way to redirect back to ourselves all the finance and interest charges that we seem to endlessly pay out to banks and finance companies? Well, it turns out there is a way to do that by developing your own banking system, presented here by PersonalCommandCapital.com. Let's look at John, age 40, who likes to buy a $35,000 automobile every 4 years. Now, I'm going to leave out of this example his trade-in activity because the impact will be the same either way. Now, if John borrows to buy these cars, like most people do, his borrowing repayment cycle looks a lot like this. He draws the money down, then pays it back over 4 years, and repeats this cycle 9 more times over 40 years with what we know will be 40 years of interest payments going out the door to enrich the finance industry. Or John could pay cash for his cars instead. Then he'd have to save for 4 years and then spend and then repeat this cycle over 40 years 9 more times. Takes real discipline. Some people do it though. But if John were to develop his own private banking system, his cash savings car purchase cycle would look a lot more like this. It starts looking like his save and spend pattern that we saw before, but before long it takes on a very different kind of pattern. Why? Well, the gap you see in these two patterns illustrates a big economic reality that we seldom hear about. We finance everything we buy. The top line represents what John could have made on $350,000 over 40 years if he hadn't spent it on his cars. Or it represents what somebody else's return will be in lending John $350,000 to buy those 10 cars over 40 years. Either way, John loses in financing the cars. He either gives up what he could have otherwise done with the money, or he enriches a lender. But by developing his own private banking system, John redirects all this financing activity to run through a unique vehicle that lets him continue earning on his capital not only while it's inside his bank, but also while it's on loan to himself outside his bank. So he gets to use his cash like a commercial banker, where his money is working for him in more than one place at the same time. And best of all, John and his family now get to have all the cars and all the earnings for use in other projects, or for his business, and afterward for his retirement. Now, if this kind of a private banking system isn't something that you've heard much about before, don't feel bad. Ironically, very few financial professionals have either. But you can learn all about it at findoutmorenow.com. And when you enter the passcode JH39, you can download a free 20-page report that tells you all about it.